Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is in episode 129. And it's also a second part of the episode from the previous episode where we started to talk about how letting go equals union. But in today's episode, we are going to dive into 10 questions I'd like you to reflect and I'd like you to connect with. It might be a little bit heavy, and the previous episode also might not have been in everyone's cup of tea and might be hard to digest. It totally depends on which part of the journey we are on it. But I also want to say, I wish when I was going through that obsessive thinking, the pain, the longing, not understanding what is happening to me, that I would have asked these questions from myself and I would have pulled the energy inside of me. I know that back then I didn't understand energy. I did not understand how energy works, and that's why also we have a misconception about letting go. And I also saw it that this week when the previous episode came out, also there is still this understanding that letting go means you giving up. Meaning of, you let go of that person, you, let's say, delete their messages, you block them, you no longer talk to them, you withdraw from them. That's not what letting go means. And I get to this in a second. What actually letting go means. And maybe I am repeating myself over and over and over again. But letting go means, in a certain ways, that you don't no longer put in expectations and you don't imagine the outcome. I go into that in a second, a little bit deeper. And I also want to say this. Today on my Instagram, those who are following me, or following that account on Instagram, I will be sharing a part of me when I was going through that big transformation, when I didn't understand what was happening, and things I was posting on social media, things I was doing, things I was feeling. And you can see over there two very different versions of me. And why is the reason I do this is because to show you that I have, it's actually not to show you, it sounds very silly. What I mean is, and I also want to say that this podcast is not about me. It's not about my journey. It's not about how I became here. It's not about how I discovered the energies and how I started to blend into the energies. It's nothing to do with that. I see this in a way of being a messenger from all of you. Whatever comes through me, whatever I'm ready to explain and share and hear, and that's for you. I'm not doing this because of saying, look, I did these 10 steps and magic happened to me. Never been my intention. Same with, let's say, if I talk about my workshops on Patreon or the retreats I'm organizing or the healing sessions with Kundalini and all of that. I am not here to ever say, you have to do what I did. No. I'm here to give you the light. And maybe something sticks on you that exactly your soul needed to elevate you to the next stage. And in this why there are 2 episodes, the previous one, and on Patreon there is an extra episode, which is very similar to the first one because I recorded them at the same time. But then I figured that the first recording I had might have been a little bit too deep and maybe would have triggered your ego way too much, that I decided I will put that on a Patreon because I know these people who are there and it might be helpful for them. You can of course join it over there, you listen it as well, not a problem. I maybe just felt that maybe it's not for the wider audience at this moment. You decide, you say, and maybe I'll put it out for everyone to listen. It's very similar, but it's deeper. And it might be hard to listen sometimes. And I'm not, of course, here for a popularity contest. If I would be here for a popularity contest, I would tell you exactly what your what your ego wants to hear. How, let's say, your twin is gonna return right away. You're gonna have this romantic relationship. You're gonna have this. I'm not here for that. And why? It's just because we know that twin flame journey is about transformation, your awakening, your way of feeling the unconditional love, you becoming the alchemist and the magnet, you stepping into the highest version, the true version of you. And when I now listed all of this, I have no doubts that if you are wondering, oh, but will that bring my twin back? I have no doubts in that. Because if you are in your highest, like in your element, the version of who you're supposed to be, because that's why your twin came to your life. And you'll see that on Instagram as well, how I'm going to show you how I did not see myself. I did not see that version that my twin mirrored to me and said to me, but you are like this. And for me was like, no, I'm not beautiful. No, I'm not fit enough. No, I'm not this and that. I had so many limiting beliefs. And you get to see that tonight on my Instagram, those who are following. I think the links are here, which I never done before. As you know, you don't really know how I look like. Some of you do, some of you don't. Because for me, it's not about how do I say? I am a soul who has chosen this avatar, and I take care of this avatar with the best way I can. It's my temple. It's something that helps my soul to live that life, and so it's not about, and I don't have anything to hide either. It's not that I'm afraid of speaking with my face or saying things. It's nothing to do with this. I just don't want it that it's about me. We are all collective. And these messages, these things I share are also you. I saw it on the last comments. There were like, people were saying, I feel you channeled me like last time. Everything I felt, everything I said, everything was going on with me. So, like I said, for me, it's about all of us. It's not about me of telling you, I am the smartest person over here. I got into that inner union. I know how to do it. I know nothing about, in a sense of, I am a messenger. I am here to support because, like I said, today's episode, these questions, I wish that I would have time to reflect on this, on that moment, and it would have liberated me more of understanding what letting go is. Is it an easy thing? No, not at all. I'm also going to say that you will get these questions and tips for your daily life on Patreon to download as a PDF. If you were thinking, I need some more extra support of stepping into this letting go. And maybe not all of these things that I'm talking today are 10 things that you have done on this journey, but maybe 1, 2, 3, and I will explain what happens energetically. So now I'm going to go back to explaining again one more time what means of letting go. What exactly letting go means. And I want also that you think for a moment. What do you feel in your heart letting go means? Do you feel it means that I have to stop communicating with my twin flame? Or any goal, any dream, anything you have, that you have to stop, that you need to remove that in your life, that this never happened. Letting go meaning of you no longer engage in their life, in their what they do, who they are. So just take a moment to think about it, what letting go means to you. And there's no right and wrong answer. I'm just going to explain a little bit more in detail. So now what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm going to tell you very quickly something. I'm sure in your lifetime you had situations where let's say you're applying for a job, or you're seeking for a love, or you do something, whatever it is in your life, and you're waiting for that outcome. Will I get this job? will I get this, will I win this, will I get this? So you are constantly putting the energy out there of thinking. And then at one point you will be like, it doesn't matter anymore, I'll just do it, let it be. And then all of a sudden it comes to you. And you are like, how all of a sudden I have so many opportunities on my table? How all of a sudden everybody sees me attractive, beautiful? How can I receive all of that? And that's now the difference. And I'm going to explain you that real letting go. So we often, and you hear that, maybe you were thinking, maybe some of the answers were correct here, that you think of when I let go, you mean like cutting cords, forgetting about the person, walking away without feeling anything anymore. You're going to be like, no, I no longer love you. I no longer want to feel you. I no longer want this and this and this and this. But the truth is you're lying to yourself. This is something, you loved your twin. Because if you don't love your twin, you don't love yourself. And that's not the real letting go. That's a repression. And that's bypassing. And that's a kind of a denial in a sense of wrapped in a spiritual language. But energetic letting go isn't about disconnecting from the love. It's not about that you're going to disconnect from the feeling, disconnect from the love. It's about disconnecting from attachment to the outcome. And you stop waiting. You stop performing your healing. And that's I very often say that. Even on my workshops and anything. And I see it's working. I know it's working. And it's not big. I'm trying to hold myself a lot back of telling you that doing the energetic here and now activation brings you to the oneness. Because I have seen that. Yeah, I see that often on the Patreon when we have the calls on every 2 weeks and we have the activations. And a lot of people say, my twin reached back to me. I also reach these messages from the first call with me when they say, oh, so much happened. I did not expect that. Again, you heard the word. I did not expect that. Because it's about the energy. But what all of my workshops are around is to activate you to that divine, to know the truth. And I'm also going to say that I'm not here to force anybody to do that. I'm not here to say that this is the magic. Because I'm a believer that when your soul is ready and you hear the call, you're going to step into that magic. And that's why I say that when you stop performing your healing, you're transforming into the speeding up the union. Like you start doing this, I'm going to do this now, I'm healed, I'm transformed, so they're going to come. And there's another thing is, it's also like you stop kind of with asking from the universe, well, okay, I've done all the shadow work, I have done the mirror workshops, I have gone to this, let's say my workshops, I have done this and this, but where are they? I don't see anything happening. But now true letting go means that you surrender your timeline, your expectations, and the control over how it all unfolds, but without abandoning your heart, without letting your heart to stay there like, oh, I'm done with this, I don't believe in this. Letting go does not mean that you're going to love them any less. Letting go means you're going to start letting go of the outcome. And I'm going to say here something so profound which happened to me, and I realized the power of letting go. When I realized I'm not here to hold anyone, okay, the same way to listen to my podcasts, or to connect with me, or to love me, or to, I'm not here to hold you like, I need to do this, then you stay with me. I'm going to say you these words, then you stay with me. I'm going to show you the other part. None of this. And I'm going to say honestly, these people who I have met, each one of you who is listening, and the people who I've met on the retreats, I had the privilege. I literally have this enormous gratitude, and even for my assistant, I said, do you see how beautiful these people are? What a privilege I have in this lifetime to connect with people all over the world. And they are like a family to me. This morning when I was walking with my dog, I was just thinking of Costa Rica, and I said, I felt like home. And the people I was there, even the local guy who came to the retreat with us, is my friend. Even though like we would think of the world, why it took me 35 hours to travel there. But I was at home. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it's not about holding on to something that's how it's supposed to happen. That's how it's supposed to be. You start letting go of the outcome, and we go into that. So, and why it is so important and powerful on a twin flame path, why letting go is important. I'm going to say it's not going to happen overnight. It takes a bit of a time, but you get there. Number one, because twin flame journey from the very beginning isn't about getting something. It has never been about, I will get this. It's about becoming someone. The truest, most soul-aligned version of you. And I'm going to say one thing here. When you are the true version of you, the aligned version of you, however you live in this life, but you are the true authentic version of you, and you are not afraid of that truth. You are not afraid of being yourself. You're not afraid of being by yourself, but you are yourself. The universe supports you tremendously. The universe is like behind you, but the moment you step out of it, you don't have a support either. And often on this twin flame journey, we don't realize how much we are separating from the fear. And fear is very powerful. I'm going to say I had so many fears that today when I'm looking at them, I'm almost like, I was in jail. I was in my own jail. I was afraid what's going to happen tomorrow. I was afraid of this. I was afraid, everything I was afraid of. I was in my own jail. And so we are operating from the fear of, if I move on, if I do something, let's say you're now deciding, okay, I'm going to change the country, or I'm going to change the place where I'm living, or I'm going to change the job where I'm at, or I'm just going to change myself if I move on. Maybe then I block the union. Maybe it will never happen. If I stop thinking about them, the connection will disappear. And if I stop waiting, maybe I'll miss the signs. We all have been there, including myself. And this is why today's episode somehow for me is like, I wish I would have taken the time, or there would have been information like this out there back then, that I would have said, oh my God, what am I doing? And this is why I'm not here to judge. I'm never here to judge, believe me. So certain parts I will be posting today on Instagram of me, you will see how I was exactly like you. I'm the last person to judge anybody. And I don't do that. I have never done this actually. But I'm just going to say that when I'm bringing this information, it's not to put you down and say to you that you're doing something wrong. It's about having this all of a sudden feeling, oh, I'm doing this. And that's where my energy goes. And that's why I can't get into alignment. I'm gonna change and shift this. And maybe, not maybe actually, I will feel different. I see myself differently. But what the problem with the fear is that it keeps in an energetic scarcity. It holds us. And it's a constant state of lack, hoping, needing, gripping, staying stuck. And why I talk about the waiting and letting go? Because when you are afraid of letting go, you are in a lack. For example, let me tell you, I know many of you are not in that situation, but let's just say today you have $10. And I tell you, let go of that $10. Just give it away. Put it somewhere else. And this is your last $10. And you'll be like, no. I need to buy food tomorrow. I need to buy something to eat. I don't have. What happened right now? You already are in a lack and you're making more lack. If you would let it go and say, hey, it can go because I have more. It comes back to you. So the problem with this is that you are in a state of lack and lack of love. I was in lack of love, 100%. I did not connect to myself. I did not love myself. I did not see myself. I was so brutal with myself that sometimes I'm thinking, and I still apologize for my body. I'm telling, why did I do this to you? What was in my head? And the hope that this is going to happen. But here is one thing that we need to understand, that energy doesn't lie. The universe does not respond to the words, it responds to the vibration. And that's why today's episode, it is heavy, it is hard to digest, but it is about understanding the vibration. Your vibration affects everything that's going to come. So even if you say that you trust the timing, but if your energy says, I'm still waiting for them to validate me, you're not in union with your own power yet. You're not. And that's okay, because today maybe you bring the clarity from these questions I have. An energetic letting go is the moment when you shift from seeking alignment and you begin the alignment. That's also the beauty of inner dance, what we do now on the 25th, 27th of April. Please look it up on Patreon, the workshop. Because there you don't really have an option. It might be harder to do that at home. On the retreats, of course, it's in a sense of you are in a sacred place, you have a connection. But what I mean is like you begin this alignment. And when you are there, your heart cracks open, you see yourself, you become this higher version. But of course, I'm talking about this in the future now, but I'm going to say that it's very difficult when we bounce back to our old life. That's why we need to change and shift our 3D. But I'll talk about this in the future episodes, so those of you who feel that my content or that message I'm delivering is helpful, always subscribe, like. This energetic helps to reach this to the people who might need this message today. And it might change their life completely. So many of you have said, I have no idea how I ended up on your podcast or how I ended up hearing you. But when you said something, I felt the shift inside of me. I felt the connection. So just to say that your comments, your likes, your subscribes, they're just helpful to deliver the energy because you are part of me. You're part of me to bring that soul family together. And so I'm going to repeat that energetic letting go is the moment when you stop and you stop seeking for that alignment and you begin alignment. And when that happens, the energy grid around you rearranges. People shift, timelines collapse. You come into the harmony with your highest timeline. And it's not through the force, but it's through the release. And I wanted that you think about it again in your life backwards of when you had that moment where you, let's say, you're coming from the airport or you're going somewhere and you miss the bus or you miss the taxi and you're so nervous over there. And then all of a sudden you sit down and you're like, never mind, somehow I will get there. And then you hear the solution, you hear the answer and you are like, oh my God, yeah. Or someone walks up to you and says, hey, do you need a ride? Or do you need this? Or same with job. You're constantly applying for the jobs. You're trying. And you're like, every day you think, oh, this job will get me, this job. You are energetically leaking. And then one point you're like, well, if it's meant to be for me, it is. If not, I'm going to let it go. And next day you get the call and be said, yes, the job is yours. But why is it like this? It is because when you are worrying about the thing and when you are thinking of this all the time, you are in a lack. And we need to transform that lack into abundance inside of you, energetically, vibrationally. And that's why when I discovered and understood that, I was activated with Kundalini energy while I met my twin. And I started to work with energies. I started to dive into the energies. I started to see the energetic fields. I realized, that's the alchemy. It's not about from the mind. But again, I'm here. I repeat that. I'm not here to sell you everything. I'm not here to sell, because for me it's very sacred. I'm going to be very honest. It's something very sacred and beautiful for me. So for me, it's not that, I'll make you the energy activation and you see how the magic's going to happen. No. Kundalini can be very brutal. Very, very brutal. But it's there for a reason, and I talk about this on the next episode. So now I want to also, before we go into these 10 questions, even though I want to talk a lot about it, I don't even know how to, maybe I put them on the PDF. I write it down. If you wish me to make that, explain them better, maybe I make an episode. Again, just let me know in the comments. If you have anything you feel like, I wish you would have explained that a little bit better, or you would have said that, just put them, because then I also have an idea to understand, because the time goes so quickly somehow. Or maybe I talk just too much random things. It's me. Accept me as I am. So the universal law. So we have 12 universal laws, and one of the laws is detachment. Same way like I've spoken about it, law of boundaries. But according to the law of detachment, in order to receive, we must let go of our attachment of the outcome, and that's a universal law. You cannot sit, and these questions that are now coming up, I want that you would understand what I mean under the attached outcome. And I explain them in the best possible way. And this does not mean that we don't set intentions, we don't dream, we don't stay there, we don't feel. It has nothing to do with that. Dreaming, setting intentions, feeling the vibrations, going to the places that, for example, you know that you can't afford, but you go. Feeling the love before the love comes to you, you go and you do. All of this has to happen. But we don't think how, and we don't control. And meaning that when we set intentions, it means when we set them and then we release them. Then we release the need of how or when they will manifest. And when you truly believe in union, it's part of your soul's path. You don't need to chase it. You become it. And that's I have said so many times. I don't know how many episodes you can listen of mine where I say, when you are the magnet, when you know who you are and your laws of the universe have aligned, one of the things is law of detachment, law of boundaries. It's if you have able to do that, I have no doubt that you can't come to the union with your twin and live in 3D. I have zero doubts in that. And that's why I also love when we do, I love the way people come to the session, when we do the energy activation session, and I see how there is a lot of stress, how there is a lot of this, like no trust whatsoever. And we do this activation and they come out and say, oh, I see this, I feel this, oh my God, yes. Like the clarity comes from there. And that's why I love it. I am very passionate about it. That's why you can hear this over and over and over. And I'm passionate about channeling as well. I'm passionate about connecting to the energies. Yesterday I had a very interesting channeling, where right before the man wanted to ask a question, I already got an answer. And then he asked a question and I was just smirking and I was like, you are communicating so well. You don't need me here. So when you truly believe in the union, it's part of your soul's path. So many of you are saying, I know that my twin was coming back to me. I know I'm going to be in the union. And then they start shaking. They're like, but maybe that doesn't happen. I know. No. When you truly believe in union, you don't need to chase it. You become it. And that's the frequency of trust. And what is a trust? A battery of the heart. If you don't have a trust, your heart don't have that power to manifest this. And that's the frequency of trust, of knowing, of divine timing. And that frequency is magnetic. And again, I'm going to say, when you become a higher self, you become a magnet. And I have seen this firsthand on myself. I see what happens to the other people. And I'm so happy that sometimes some of you, because I think, of course, after when you have gone through that very painful time, you don't listen to my podcast as much. But some of you still do. And like I said, the third season is more about the higher self, all of this. But I really love seeing you coming back, of realizing, and they tell me, my life is magnetic. You were right. And again, I'm going to say, it's not about right or wrong. You did that. I was just the messenger, just creating a space for you to connect with that. But you did that. And so what actually happens when you let go of energetically? Number one, you stop outsourcing your worth of their love. Number two, you stop micromanaging your healing in hopes that they will return. And I have said that so many times. No need to come, and I know, marketing-wise, I could say to you, just come to my energy healing. Just do this. I'll show you your twin will be back to you. Look how much proof I have. I have these emails. I have these returns. I have this. I have that. Look, I know the alchemy. Because I want you to become a higher self. And again, very egoistic of saying, I want you. But I know when you become your higher self, how you become a magnet. And then maybe on certain ways you will be thinking of, oh wow, she told me that. And she was right. Again, not about right or wrong, but what I mean is that you have that trust, the knowing. And then you begin living, creating, laughing. You showing up as a union is already right now, right here. And it's not externally, it is within you. And you begin walking your path without needing them to hold your hand, to message you, to look at your Instagram stories or Snapchat stories. You let the connection to be while you choose to become. And then when something really, really magical starts to happen, the obsessive thoughts, this pulse starts to soften. The ache, the pain, that feeling, that fear starts to transform. And the longing no longer defines you. Because you have remembered who you were, and you were never separate from this love. Never. And that's the liberation. And that's the return to the union, not as a future event, but as a present frequency. And I tell you, everything is a frequency. And why I speak about it is because I lived it. I know exactly, and I always said I wish someone would have asked me these questions. Letting go is not the end of your story. Letting go does not mean you end the relationship. It's the beginning. And if you are in that in-between space where your soul is craving for them, but your spirit is craving for you, you just remember, you're not supposed to stay in waiting, and you are meant to rise in the becoming. You are alignment from that moment on. So now let's go to the first thing. the waiting energy in the moment and the shift for the attention. So listen to this and see what you will say. Are you in a waiting? Ask yourself, it's the first question. Are you in a waiting that, like I said, the day that I will be sharing what I was posting on social media and whatever. Those moments when you feel that you need to post something on social media, and maybe not the case of everyone, but it's a lot because we are living a lot in the world of social media. Maybe a photo, a quote, a story, and you kind of tell yourself that, it's just a self-expression, I want to share what I do, where I am. But now if you really sit down and you hear that voice that, I hope they see this. I hope this makes they think of me. I hope they will like my story. Or maybe they reach out. Will they see my story? I did this a lot. I tried every possible way to get their attention. Or you pick a song from your playlist that holds a memory in between you. And it's kind of like you feel like, do you still care about me? Do you still care? Like you listen to the song, you're connecting. I'm going to say it's not the wrong thing, but I'm just going to explain you when you shift that, how it will help you. Because these are not the wrong things. They're completely human. And I did it too. Oh, poor me in that sense. It was all about for me to find that validation, to see that if that person loves me and if they saw my story, that was a day. And then if they liked my story, that was a completely another day. Sounds ridiculous, isn't it? But I was looking for that validation because I couldn't see this inside of me, and it's not a judgment. And because these feelings are coming from longing, from love, from a nervous system that remembers the connection and wants the same connection. Like I said on one of my previous episodes, it's a little bit like a drug. You want to feel the same love again. You want to feel the same moment again. And so it's kind of like, I'll do anything to feel this again. And you will feel this. This I'm going to say you, but from you. But the deeper truth over here, why I talk about it, is that the moment when your energy begins leaking outward towards them, towards the response, instead of inwards, towards your own becoming, it's your energy is leaking. And it's an energetic loop then where you're going to get stuck. Because the mind is very, very clever. It wants safety, certainty, resolutions. It wants to know if you are thinking about, it wants to know if they are thinking about you, when they come back, how they respond. Like the mind wants to know that. But the truth is in your body and in your soul. But I talk about the body today for a moment. The body doesn't think about it someday. It only knows the now. It knows what it feels right now. So the mind can go into the story, and this sounds very ridiculous, I know, but I'm sure many of us have done this. Well, maybe they saw my story and they are just scared to reach out. Maybe they want to talk to me, but they don't. So the mind wants to tell you everything. Nothing wrong with that. Believe me, I did the same thing, and I'm not here to say you did something wrong. But now we have to go into the body and soul. And listen to your body and take this, the first thing right now. It's like, what my body is saying. I feel a heaviness in my chest. My stomach is really, really tight. I think I need to move or cry or breathe or be held right now. I feel what your body is telling. I want to let you close your eyes right now, and let's say if you have posted something today and waiting for the response, or you're waiting for them to tell you something, I want to let you feel what your body is telling. And the thing is, when we are in the waiting energy, the mind keeps pulling us into the future or past. It starts to imagine outcomes, waiting for signs, analyzing interactions. And I'm going to say, none of this is wrong. But why I'm talking about it today is because when you try this, just try it and see what happens. And the truth about your body and soul is always present, it's always here. And holding the truth of how we actually feel, not how we hope to feel. How do you feel exactly right now? Do you feel an anxiety? Do you feel fear? Do you feel something is going on? And that's also the beauty of healing and transforming the energy. Many people don't step into it. And we think of our divine masculines, so-called. Oh, when they're going to heal, when they're going to transform, when they're going to do this. I'm going to say a lot of people don't step into the healing and transformation because you're going to feel what your body is telling you, the truth at this present moment. And there is no illusion of future or I want to be somebody else. And many of us don't want to do this. But again, I'm holding that for the next episode where I talk about the Kundalini and why is it so brutal. So now the real shift here, and I really wish that someone would have told me this back in the days. The real shift begins when we stop trying to send a message to them and start receiving the messages from within ourselves. And now, just think of this for a moment. So the next time you feel like I need to post something, I need to say something, I need to show something, or read the old messages, or read something. Oh, I did all of this. It's just to say again, it's nothing you're doing wrong, but just pause. Pause and ask from it. Is this as my mind trying to get the response? Or is this my body asking me to come home? What I'm feeling. And then breathe. Place your hand on your heart or on your belly and just ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Maybe it's a touch, maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's a movement, crying, nourishment, silence, creations. Let your body answer. Not your fantasies, but your body. Let your body answer. Let your frequency tell you what is it lacking of. And this is how you reclaim your energy. This is how you bring it back from the spiral of what if, what if, what if, what if. And this is how you step into the presence. Not because you should. And not because you have to do all of this. But it's because it's the only place that healing actually happens and transformation happens. Like I said before, your universe responds to your frequency. It does not respond what you say. So anytime you feel the urge, just check in within yourself. Check in when you pull up your phone to see if they have messaged you. Or the first thing you do this in the morning. And how many minutes you were spending to get that message. I was spending hours of that endless loop. Every day I could go and look at, and you have heard that from my very early episodes and you can listen. And there is nothing wrong with that. And so now the second thing is replace your waiting with a daily devotion of becoming. And here's the truth that many of us avoid, including myself, before completely. Waiting is not passive. It's choice. When you keep waiting, you have chosen to wait. Including myself. I was waiting when the pain will go away. I was waiting when my twin will reach out to me. I was living in a waiting. And the problem is that over time it becomes a ritual. And the one that serves in the fear instead of love. And when you are on a twin flame journey, it's so easy to fall into these invisible rituals of longing. Let's say you light the candle, hoping they feel it. You scroll through their old messages, trying to find clues. Or what did they say then? What did they do this? Or did they really say that? Again, I did it many times. You stop living your life until there is a sign, a text, a confirmation. Like you're ready, you need to make a next step, but you stop. And what happens is that now I want to ask you that you ask yourself the question, what if you would have poured that energy into you? What if this pain, what you're feeling right now, is not a punishment, but it's a portal for you to become? And here is another truth. The moment I stopped waiting for them to see me, for my twin to see me, I finally started to see myself, and that you can see on Instagram. I'll show you the complete version, and you might be in shock of thinking, how my mind was even operating like this. Well, the truth was there. So how do you shift from waiting to devotion? And here is something what you can do any day. You start every day, little things to do for yourself. For example, you can say, right now, I'm no longer postponing my life. I'm devoting myself of who I am becoming, and I'm becoming the version who I love. Once I remember I had a conversation with a very close people with me, and I said to them, the price I paid of getting here is too high, that I'm not going to change. If you feel you don't love me, if you feel I'm not good enough for you, if you feel I'm this and that, that's all right. I let you go. You can go. Discover. Be there. I'm not here to stay like, no, you have to love me. You have to come for my birthday. You have to be here. No, be free, my dear. Because I love that version. And even if it's the only one person in this world who loves that version of me, that's wonderful too. And so, and whatever you can do, whether yourself, you are dancing for the one song with your whole heart, you start going into dancing classes, you start going into the deeper meditations, you're going to go into the retreats, you're going to go discover your sexuality deeper and you feel that energy. You're going to start reading the books you've been putting off. You're going to start going to meet these people you've been thinking and dreaming and connecting. Or starting to do art, eating slowly, thanking your body. And this is something really, really important. Eat slow, present, let the food be your fuel, and thank your body. And you start taking daily steps towards yourself. And now ask yourself the next questions. If I stop waiting today, what would I give myself a permission to begin with? Like, think of this, how many minutes or hours you're spending of thinking of them, and how you can transmute and transcend these minutes and hours into yourself. Now ask yourself another question. How have I been putting parts of my life on hold in the name of love? Why am I waiting them to tell me that? And what would it look like to love myself the way I've been waiting for them to? How it would look for you. How it would look for you when you would give yourself, and not them, but yourself for giving this. And whatever is going to come, there is a meditation on Patreon where you can also take these questions and ask for it and see what your body's going to tell you. And what I want to say that your soul lives your soul wants embodiment. Your soul wants to be right now, right here. But embodiment doesn't happen in a leap. It happens in 1,000 small choices, starting from how we treat ourselves. I'm worthy of joy. I'm the whole. I love myself. I am this. And so many of us can think of it also that when you go into the state of, let's say, you are thinking of them, you're thinking, so much energy goes to them. And you have to understand that you are generating the energy, you are the generator. So if you're giving to everybody else but not to yourself, how can you manifest something? And the devotion is showing up for you. And I have said to this many times over some people who come to the channeling sessions with me, and I said to them, from here on we stop it now, okay? We're gonna go into you now. We're no longer giving that energy outside, we're gonna go into you. And of course, we don't like that because we want the answer about the others. But when we go into you, what happens? You bring the energy back. And then you start seeing again what starts to happen in 3D. And that's the power. So ask yourself these questions. And now let's go into a little bit of a journaling or writing things down. And I have said it's very, very powerful. It's powerful in many ways. Because you're going to start to have a reflection of who you were before and what you have transformed into. So don't be afraid of writing things down that are coming to you. But because we get to see what is what is happening. This is why also after the Kundalini or the energy activations we're doing, I often say, write these things down that are coming. Take a moment. I'm reading sometimes back and I'm like, wow, I did not see myself, and then I was expecting my twin to come and see me. I was so broken inside of me. So there's something really sacred that happens when we put pen to paper, when we allow ourselves, and take this another thing, write these things down. When we get to hear ourselves again, but of course it depends who is holding the pen. The words can either reinforce our pain or release from us this. Because the truth is, not every thought you write is the truth. That's very important. I look at back and I'm seeing, oh my God, the things I said to myself and the way I was explaining myself. And sometimes the voice of your wounded self is just trying to be heard. Let's say, for example, why they don't see me? Maybe I'm not good enough for love. Maybe if I do this, I get this in my life. Maybe if I do more healing. Maybe if I do more transformation. Maybe, no. You have done nothing wrong. It's the younger part of yourself that still believes that you have to earn the love by being perfect, patient, and small. And that's where your higher self comes in. I had a very, very big part. And many of us, women especially, will start feeling when the time goes on. Of course, I mean, we are not going to stay young, beautiful, I don't know, sexy, whatever, for the rest of our life. Our bodies change, so it's for men. We're gonna get wrinkles, and we start thinking our value of that. That I need to look younger, then I will have more chances. And I need to be this and that, and then I have more, and I'm no longer fertile. I can't give the kids, I can't do this. And we kind of put our body in stress. But don't do that to yourself. You are exactly where you're supposed to. Your timeline is exactly how it's supposed to. Is it an easy thing to say? No. And I actually want to say here one other thing. When we had a Costa Rica retreat, we had age group from 25 to 69. I said every one of them were very, very similar. Very similar. And I have a huge respect on people who are coming to my retreats or coming to my workshops. And they might be much older in their age-wise, but they never come in of thinking, oh, I'm so much older, I'm so much wiser, I know so much better what she knows. They're there to see that, oh, we are all the same. Of course, is our bodies the same and everything, but I also, when I saw our 69-year-old there, and I went back to, and I said, this is my inspiration. My inspiration is to be surrounded when I'm 69 or 79 or 89 or 99, I don't know how long God gives to me, to learn to grow and be surrounded. Will my body be the same? No. Will my face be the same like today? No. That's why for me, it's like I said from the very beginning, it's not about my avatar. I will speak the same truth even on that time. Obviously, the truth will change by that time. I will be a little bit more wiser, seen more life. But I just don't want that you get stuck there, or that your value depends on your age, that your value depends on your body, that your value depends, and I will share that on my Instagram as well. You'll see what I was able to say about myself. It's incredible. Sometimes I'm thinking, who was this person? But now let's come back to this when you're writing these things down. Your higher self will tell you these things, even if they don't never understand, even if no one understands me, even I will not abandon myself. It's not about me stopping my truth and not liberating with this. It's for me to connect. My love is not the currency, it is who I am. You are the love. And believe me, it's not about chasing someone else to see this love. Be this love. Be this magnet. I don't need to be chosen to be valid. I am already the one. I am already chosen. I'm already the valid. And if we shift from the journaling, please see me, to see I see myself, again the entire energy changes. One of the most manifestation word is I am. I am love. I am union. I am alignment. I am wealth. I am abundance. I am is where it begins. But if you don't believe in that and you just repeat it, it will not happen. So for your today's, let's say, your journal, if you're thinking of journaling, and I'm going to say, we're really running, and I have so much more to say, but I'm stopping from here today with this one. I'm going to have more on the PDF, which you can get it on Patreon. It might be 24 hours later. You will see that even if you're not a member, you'll see that there is, if it's out, as I just see that I will not be able to explain everything. And I think you also can't listen it for hours and hours and hours and hours. But for your journal today, ask them out loud. What am I avoiding starting because I think I need them beside me? And be very honest. What are the things you do not do today because you think that I need that person next to me? And to be totally honest, is it your business? Is it your healing, transforming? Is it the place where you want to go? Is it the food you want to go and eat? What are the things you keep postponing? What you're postponing? Now ask yourself, if I wasn't afraid of being abandoned, how would I live today? What would you wear? What would you say? Where would you go? Would you move your body? Would you start writing a book? Would you say something? Would you do something? Would you take the power in your hand? And what does the most beautiful, expressed, strongest version of me wants to create? Just for the joy of it, whatever it is. No strategy, no approval needed, nothing. You just want to be. And this is the next thing from here. No validation from others. It's not about the metrics. It's not about someone liking you. It's not about getting the validation of where people say, yes, that's how you have to live. Yes, that's how it's good. Yes, that's perfect. Let yourself free. Make mistakes. dance naked, do anything to make that energy into oneness and union. And allow yourself to feel all of that. That's where the energy moves. When you stop writing from the wounds and you start living from your wholeness, and where healing is no longer a concept, it's your choice. Everything is your choice. Change that part. Shift and see what happens. These are just few things. Like I said, on a Patreon, you have the other 10 of them or 7 of them that are coming. You can look into that. It is maybe, I'll put it down how you can integrate this into your daily life. I'll see you on, those of you who would like to join for the Inner Dance next Sunday, 27th of April. It's the only, I don't know if it's the only Inner Dance this year or we have at the end of the year as well. But that's again, it's in my perspective, it's one of the most powerful way to come into the oneness, to hear, to feel, to connect and letting go. And I will be speaking on my next episode about why Kundalini energy is brutal. Because many of you have felt the shift when the shifts are happening, that your life is collapsing. You feel so much longing, you feel so much hard, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And I will explain these things. Why is it in certain ways? Just to give you the liberation and understanding it's a process. Oh, what else to say? I said on my Instagram, tonight you will see the part of me, or the way I was speaking, exactly reflecting on that journey of not letting go, not seeing myself, not literally not seeing myself. And I know that so many of you, I'm going to tell you also one of the things that many of you would think, I need to be rich, I need to look like this, I need to have this, because every one of us, what we are in lack of, we would think, well, I need this. And then I have so many beautiful souls who have connected with me, which I'm so grateful and thankful. I'm like, some of them look like supermodels. Some of them are so creative. They have so much creative power that it's like, wow. Some of them are ultra wealthy. Some of them are so connected to the Mother Earth and have such a good channeling, such a good spiritual, like there is so much mix. And I see how we go from one who says, I don't have this, and I go to next call and they like mix. And I'm like, no, you have it all, my dear. You just don't see it. And that's why your twin came to your life to show you this part. It came to my life to show me. Oh, and how I was battling. No. So this today, what I was giving to you, try to think of, if you do these things, what can you change and shift? And try it out and see what starts to happen. So I'll see you on 27th of April. We have the next podcasts are coming as well. You can book a session, of course, with me if you felt that, oh, I think my soul is asking for that next upgrade. Whether it is just talking and we get to know each other. I'll see where you are energetically on your journey. Are you on this journey? What is happening over there? Or the second part is channeling or energy activation at the same time. Whichever, you find them on twinflameawakeningjourney.com. Like I said, I don't force anything. I'm a believer of your soul. I'm a believer of you knowing what is the next best thing for you. But don't get stuck in a look. And one more thing I wanted to say is that retreat, of course, separate retreat in November. I can't believe we have 7 men who have signed up for the waiting list. The waiting list is available on twinflameawakeningjourney.com. We'll get the information right after the Easter, as I'm waiting for the logistics, as you know, everybody's on a holiday and it's not so easy to get to know if the dates are available for the place we're staying at and if some people can join us. So a little bit there, but if you are signed up for the waiting list, you get, of course, the first discounted price for the retreat. And you get better in that sense of better price, better opportunities, and you'll be the one who is on the list. I'm going to say we have quite a big number there. But of course, one thing is a waiting list, one thing is signing up. So I'm going to say, if you are interested of coming, make sure that you will be free around 7th of November till 12th of November. This time it's a little bit longer. So around this time, it's 11/11 portal retreat. Okay, I can talk for hours, and it's again a very long one. Might be very deep or maybe a little bit confusing, and maybe I repeat myself in certain ways, but I can see that sometimes repetition is what helps us to get into the oneness. Happy Easter. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy the time with yourself. Stay as beautiful as you are. Embody the love. If you need to hear from your higher self, on Patreon there is a meditation that you can step into. Do it every day and see what your higher self is telling you. Become the union today. Lots of love and lots of light.
Everybody seems to know that I'm the one who crossed the line, and it got me lost. Everybody says the same, searching for a way to find a path back to self-control, but it got me lost. Everybody claims the same. Maybe getting lost is what I need, just to find out how not to be found by someone like you again. I'm a reckless lack of self-control, and my impulsive thoughts of mine ain't for you to judge, but really you're the one to blame. But no matter who I am,